Welcome to Black Sci-Fi TV. I'm Maurice Waters, your host, and today we're with Herbert Jefferson Jr., the original Lieutenant Boomer from the classic Battlestar Galactica. Welcome.
Good afternoon to you.
Can you tell us a little bit about your experience as playing that role, Lieutenant Boomer, the original?
God, the experience was one of great wonder because at the time we were shooting Battlestar Galactica, none of us knew that how it was going to be received. We had no idea that it would turn into a sci-fi icon at the time. We knew that we were working on the most expensive television show in the history of television at $3 million for the pilot, the 3-hour pilot, plus $1 million per episode, and that's $1978 we're talking about. But the experience was uplifting in that I got to work with some wonderful people. We all got along. There wasn't a bad apple in the bunch, and that's either in front of or behind the camera. But I have to tell you, I never would have thought 32 years ago that I'd be standing here talking to you about a series that I did that lasted one season.
As playing that role, Lieutenant Boomer, I mean, even here at the convention today, I see that the character that you played is really beloved. You know, everybody first, when they see you, the first thing they do is smile and, hey, how are you? You know, how does that feel to get that kind of attention?
Well, I'm honored. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of something that, first of all, that Glenn Larson wrote and conceived, and he gave me the opportunity to breathe some life into the character and get the character on its feet. And I have to say, when I do conventions and people come by and tell me what an influence not only the show but the character of Boomer was back in 1978, when there weren't that many characters of color with a positive message who were playing stronger roles, and it really makes me feel great that I was a part of a team that was able to put that together. But you have to give all due credit to Glenn A. Larson, who created Battlestar Galactica, and I just happen to be, you know, an actor that amongst maybe 25 or 30 who auditioned for the piece that got the role. So I'm very fortunate, very happy, very honored.
And also, not just as an actor, but that's also, now you have a relationship with the military, you know, working with them and speaking. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, for many years I've been involved with, this is prior to Battlestar Galactica, but I did a lot of volunteer work with the USO, a lot of veterans organizations, including the U.S. Marine Corps Reserve Toys for Tots program, Operation Stand Down, which tries to help get a lot of our homeless veterans off the street. And it is amazing getting back to the influence that Galactica has had on so many. You'd be surprised on at how many of our men and women in uniform are fans of science fiction. You know, they have it written on their weapons, they have it written on their helmets, they have character names written on their vehicles. I even had one sergeant major in the United States Marines send me a photo of his helmet with a Colonial Warrior logo decal on it. You know, so it gives me great pleasure to let them know wherever they go that they have the support of not only me but so many of us in the sci-fi community, wherever they go, and it transcends politics. I see them all as our boys and girls, my kids, so to speak.
Definitely, and you know, that ties into my last question. At blacksci-fi.com, our slogan is inspire your imagination. And what we found is so many people, like you said, have been inspired to go on to higher education and sciences and all these other things. So could you give some advice to the viewers out here about what inspires you, what do you draw on, and what they should do, or some advice?
Well, what I draw on isn't really that important. But what I would say to any young person is to follow your dream. Follow your dream. If you have a dream, write it down, because only when you write it down does that dream become a goal. And if you have any interest in math or science, follow your dream, get closer to your instructors, and let them know what your interests are, and read. You know, the information superhighway is so available today, much more so than it was when I was a young man. You can walk around with a BlackBerry in your hand and have access to all the information that there is, that most of us had to go to the library to get. So if you have a question in your mind, utilize your BlackBerry and your computers to do something other than Twitter. Okay?
Okay.
Find out, stay hungry, keep the faith.
Okay. Thank you for being on BlackSci-Fi.com. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.